Hello everyone. Last time we have completed internal energy, first law of thermodynamics and its application for various processes, and we have done the relationship between delta H and delta U for chemical reactions and work done in chemical reaction. So today we'll start with the enthalpies of physical transformation. So today we'll be more dealing with the definitions of each and every term. So it is very important for you people to learn the definitions nicely, and many a time it is asked directly. Okay, so please do learn the definitions. So we'll start with the first one, enthalpies of physical transformation. Over here, first we have to deal with enthalpy of phase transition. Now what do you mean by phase transition? That means with the help of heat it will be converted from one phase of a substance to another phase of a substance at constant temperature and pressure without changing its chemical composition. That is nothing but phase transition. Okay, that means only the state of a substance will be changed. So in that thing, first is enthalpy of fusion. When you hear the word enthalpy of fusion, understand it is represented by delta FUSH, capital H. What is it represented by? It is represented by delta FUS, capital H. And fusion means it is solid converted into liquid is nothing but called as fusion. Okay, so I just have to now frame the sentence. Enthalpy change that occurs when 1 mole of a solid is converted into liquid without changing in temperature and pressure is enthalpy of fusion. See, when we talk about phase transition, very important, at constant temperature and pressure we have to explain, and the second thing is the chemical composition will remain same at that time. Only what will change is the phases will change. Okay, so hopefully it is clear. Over enthalpy of fusion, it is solid to liquid. So the example given is solid water is nothing but ice converted into water. So the enthalpy of fusion is nothing but equal to plus 6.01 kilojoule mole inverse at 0 degree Celsius. At that temperature it is 6.01. Now what do you mean by plus sign? Plus means over here the heat is absorbed. Over here what is happening? The heat is absorbed. Now if suppose I reverse the reaction, if it is reverse, the reaction will be H2O liquid going to H2O solid. Now just imagine liquid going to solid is said to be freezing of the solid, right? Liquid is going to solid, that means water is converted into ice, that means we are freezing it, right? So if the enthalpy of freezing is to be calculated, it will be the reverse way. That means it will be, the value will be same, only thing is instead of plus I have to write there minus. So it will be delta freezing equal to delta H will be equal to minus 6.01 kilojoule mole inverse. Hopefully it is clear. That will be delta FREEZ capital H equal to minus 6.01 kilojoule mole inverse. Okay, now the second one, enthalpy of vaporization. Now what do you mean by vaporization? When liquid is converted into gas, it is called as vaporization. So I just have to frame the sentence at constant temperature and pressure at the end. So it is an enthalpy change accompanying the vaporization of 1 mole of a liquid without changing its temperature at constant pressure. Okay, now so the example given over here is, there are two examples given. Understand the temperatures are different, that's the reason the value of vaporization is different. So H2O in the liquid state converted into H2O in the gas will is, over here the delta H value is equal to plus 40 kilojoule mole inverse at 100 degrees Celsius, and at 25 degrees Celsius the enthalpy of vaporization is equal to plus 44 kilojoule mole inverse. Now the representation over here is delta VAP and capital H. Okay, now just understand, if I do the reverse reaction, that means H2O gas converted into liquid. That means what process is going on? Condensation. The process is called as condensation. So what will change? As I told you before, over here the value will remain same. Only thing is the sign will be reversed because the reaction is reversed. So that is one property. Whenever you want to reverse a reaction, whatever the enthalpy value is given, there the sign will change. So over here, for the first reaction, H2O gas going to H2O liquid, the enthalpy of condensation will be equal to minus 40 kilojoule mole inverse at 100 degrees Celsius. Now, how to represent condensation? It is delta CON of H. Okay, fine. Similarly, for the next reaction, over there the enthalpy of condensation will be minus 44 kilojoule mole inverse. Okay, so next we will see enthalpy of sublimation. It is represented by delta SUB of H. Okay, so what is enthalpy of sublimation? Sublimation means the solid is directly converted into vapor state without going to liquid state. So that is called as sublimation. So the enthalpy of sublimation is defined as the enthalpy change for the conversion of 1 mole of a solid directly into vapor at constant temperature and pressure. Okay, the example over here is H2O solid going to H2O gas. The value of enthalpy of sublimation is equal to 51.08 kilojoule mole inverse. Over here the value will be positive 51. That means the heat is absorbed during the process. Okay, now you can see a diagram over here that says that the value for enthalpy of sublimation will be equal to the value of the enthalpy of fusion plus the value of enthalpy of vaporization. So if we do it in one step or two step, at the end the value, that means sublimation means actually it will go from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. Okay, that means if I add up individual value of fusion and vaporization, and I'll see the value of sublimation will be also same. So we can say that enthalpy is what? A state function. That's the reason if we do directly in one step or in two step, the value at the end will remain same over here. Okay, so just remember this formula, very important, delta H. That means the enthalpy of sublimation is equal to the sum of enthalpy of fusion and vaporization. Okay, next we learn the enthalpy for the atomic or molecular change. So in that first one, enthalpy of ionization. Now by the word itself we know that what do you mean by ionization? That is the removal of an electron from the gaseous atom is said to be ionization. Okay, now so what is enthalpy of ionization? It is the enthalpy change accompanying the removal of an electron from 1 mole of gaseous atom. For example, Na, neutral Na in the gaseous state, when energy is given to it, what will happen? It will dissociate into Na++ 1 electron. So the enthalpy of ionization is given by delta ION of H is equal to plus 494 kilojoule mole inverse. Why it is plus over here? Because energy is absorbed in this reaction. Now next one, electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy over here, it means the acceptance of electron from the gaseous atom to form gaseous anion. Okay, so the enthalpy for this thing will be given by the enthalpy change when 1 mole of a gas phase atoms of an element accept electron to form gaseous ion. Remember this thing, in ionization it is removal of an electron, and over here it is acceptance of an electron. So the example for electron gain enthalpy, Cl, neutral atom in the gaseous state, accepts one electron to give Cl minus. So the enthalpy of electron gain enthalpy is given by delta Eg of H, that is equal to minus 349 kilojoule mole inverse. Next is enthalpy of atomization. It is the enthalpy change accompanying the dissociation of 1 mole of gaseous substance into atoms. Over here the molecules will be dissociated into, or it will be broken into its atoms. Okay, so first example, Cl2 in the gaseous phase will break down into Cl plus Cl. Remember, both Cl are neutral over here. Okay, so that's why it is called as atomization. So delta atomization is represented by delta ATOM of H is equal to 242 kilojoule mole inverse. Okay, similarly, for if it is CH4 in the gaseous state, it will be C plus 4H. Okay, and its atomization is given by 1660 kilojoule mole inverse, 1660 kilojoule mole inverse. Okay, so next one, enthalpy of solution. It is the enthalpy change in a process when 1 mole of a substance is dissolved in specified amount of solvent. Solution, you know how to make solution. So that means whenever a solute is added in solvent and it is dissolved, we will get solution. Okay, so we'll see one example. Okay, so NaCl in water. Okay, that is what we call it as aqueous NaCl. Okay, so solid NaCl when added in water, it will give me aqueous NaCl. Okay, that means NaCl solution. Okay, so its enthalpy is given by delta SOLN of H is equal to 4 kilojoule mole inverse. Over here it is positive. Okay, now an ionic compound dissolves in water in 2 steps. Okay, so that we'll see. The first step is when the molecule is added in water, it will dissociate into its constituent ions. So the enthalpy change for this step is crystal lattice enthalpy, and it is represented by delta capital L of H, which is always positive. And once the ions are formed, now these ions are hydrated with water molecules surrounding them. This is the second step. Okay, so the enthalpy change for this step is always negative and is called the enthalpy of hydration, and it is represented by delta HYD of H. So what will be the enthalpy of solution then? It is the sum of the enthalpies of crystal lattice and hydration. Next important topic is thermochemistry. Here we'll deal with enthalpy changes in chemical reactions. So we'll learn the enthalpy of chemical reaction. It is defined as the difference between the sum of enthalpies of products and that of reactants with each substance in definite physical state, and their amounts being represented by the coefficients in the balanced equation of the reaction. So to understand this, we'll just consider a reaction. Say AA plus BB going to CC and DD. Capital A and capital B are the reactants, capital C and capital D are the products, small letters over there are the moles of reactants and the products, or the coefficients of the reactants and the products. Okay, now the enthalpy change of the reaction is represented by delta small r of H. Understand, it is small r of H. That will be equal to C into molar enthalpy of C plus D of molar enthalpy of D bracket minus A of molar enthalpy of A plus B of molar enthalpy of B, where HA, HB, HC and HD are molar enthalpies of A, B, C and D respectively. Okay, now so in short we can understand that the enthalpy of a chemical reaction is equal to the summation of the enthalpies of the products minus summation of the enthalpies of the reactants. Okay, now one more important thing, if the enthalpy of a reaction or the products or reactants is negative, that means it is a exothermic reaction, and if it is positive then it is said to be the endothermic reaction. Okay, next we learn standard enthalpy of reaction. It is similar to the enthalpy of reaction, only difference is here the reaction will be in their standard states. So it is the enthalpy change accompanying the reaction when the reactants and products involved are in their standard states. So standard states of certain elements and compounds are like H2 will be represented in gaseous state, Hg which is mercury will be represented in liquid state, Na in solid state and so on. Okay, and remember whatever is given over here, it is at 1 bar and 25 degrees Celsius. Okay, now when we write a thermochemical equation, what are the things we have to keep in mind? The first important thing is we have to write a balanced chemical reaction. Okay, next thing, the value and the appropriate sign of enthalpy change is given in the right hand side. As you can see in this reaction, the enthalpy change of a reaction at standard state, which is represented by naught, is given in the right hand side. Next, you can see of each of the reactants and the products, the physical state is mentioned. So that is important in when you represent a thermochemical equation, you have to write down the standard states of each of the reactants and the products. Like if it is solid, you will represent it by S, gas small g, liquid small l, aqueous AQ. Okay, now if for example the value of delta R H naught is given, okay, now if we change the direction of a reaction, okay, that means the reaction is reversed. That time whatever the sign of the enthalpy change, that will also be reversed, but the magnitude will remain same. For example, a exothermic reaction on reversal becomes endothermic and vice versa. Okay, so remember, when a reaction is reversed, the sign will be reversed, but the magnitude of the enthalpy change will remain same. And last one, when the coefficients are multiplied by some factor or divided by some factor, then the enthalpy of a reaction will be multiplied or divided accordingly what we are doing in the reaction. So these are the steps which we have to remember of the thermochemical equation. Okay, so one reaction is given over here, that is the combustion of methane is given, CH4 methane reacting with oxygen gives CO2 plus H2O. First, it is balanced reaction. Next, we have to understand, we have to write down the standard states of each one. The standard enthalpy of a reaction is given in the right hand side. Okay, now if the reaction is reversed, for example CO2 plus H2O gives CH4 plus 2O2, then the value of enthalpy will be plus 890 kilojoule. Okay, now if I multiply the whole equation by 2, then the enthalpy reaction, that means the enthalpy of a reaction will be also multiplied by 2, that means the value will be 2 into 890. Okay, so hopefully you understood how to write a thermochemical equation. Next, standard enthalpy of formation. Over here, it is the enthalpy change that accompanies a reaction in which 1 mole of pure compound in its standard state is formed from its elements in their standard states. Okay, since it is standard enthalpy of formation, remember all the reactants and the products or whatever the elements or the compounds which we are taking will be in their standard states. Now it is standard enthalpy of formation. Okay, the compounds are formed from its constituent elements. Okay, now the enthalpy for this reaction is given by minus 74.8 kilojoule. When you can also as well write delta H of a reaction, or you can just specify it by saying delta H of formation. Okay, so delta enthalpy of formation, the standard enthalpy of formation is given by delta small f of H naught. Whenever it is standard, you have to write a naught in the enthalpy change. Okay, now next one, standard enthalpy of combustion. This is represented by delta small c of H. Okay, now it is the standard enthalpy change accompanying a reaction in which 1 mole of a substance in its standard state is completely oxidized. Okay, whenever it is combustion, that means in the reactant side it will be the reaction with oxygen. Okay, so over here also they have represented delta small r of H. That means the enthalpy of a reaction, not means it is standard enthalpy of a reaction. Okay, it can be also represented as delta H naught of C, specifying that it is a combustion reaction. The value is given by minus 1300 kilojoule. Okay, next we learn the standard enthalpy of reaction from standard enthalpies of formation. This is similar to the enthalpy of a chemical reaction. Okay, so we'll just see the standard enthalpies of formation of an element is always taken as 0. So the formation of H2 or the formation of Cl2, the formation of carbon, each of the element is equal to 0. Okay, next important thing, standard enthalpy of formation of a compound is equal to the standard enthalpy. Okay, and if the compound will be equal to the standard enthalpy of that particular compound. Okay, now let's take an example. Say AA plus BB going to CC and DD. Now you know that capital letters over here are the reactants and the products respectively, and small letters are the coefficients. Okay, the standard enthalpy of a reaction is given by delta H naught of small f, that is equal to small c into molar enthalpy of C in its standard state plus D into molar enthalpy of D in its standard state bracket minus A into standard enthalpy molar enthalpies of A in its standard state plus B into molar enthalpies of B in its standard state. So we can say that the standard enthalpy of a reaction is the summation of standard enthalpy of product minus the summation of standard enthalpies of the reactants. So hopefully you understood this. Next topic is bond enthalpy. Now what do you mean by that? The enthalpy change required to break particular covalent bond in 1 mole of gaseous molecule to produce gaseous atom and or radicals is called bond enthalpy. By the name, please understand enthalpy is heat, so the energy required to break that bond is said to be bond enthalpy. Okay, now we'll see some example. First one, H2 in gaseous state will be broken down into H plus H. That means individual atoms there. Okay, that means H is covalently bonded with one more H. So that bond is broken over here. Okay, so its bond enthalpy is given by 436.4 kilojoules. Okay, similarly, next reaction, HCl molecule dissociates as H plus Cl. Over here the covalent bond is broken. Okay, so HCl dissociates into H plus Cl. So the enthalpy of a reaction is equal to 431.9 kilojoules. Important point which you have to remember over here is, for diatomic molecules the bond enthalpy is same as the enthalpy of atomization. Now next we'll see the average bond enthalpy in polyatomic molecules. First we have to understand what do you mean by polyatomic molecules. Polyatomic means many atoms are there in the molecule. Now over here more than 2 atoms if it is there, we can call it as polyatomic molecule. Okay, so you have to understand over here each covalent bond in polyatomic molecule will have its own specific bond enthalpy. Okay, so let's take one example over here, the dissociation of water molecules. Okay, that means H2O molecules. Okay, now over here first it will be in gaseous state. Okay, now this is getting dissociated as 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Okay, so the enthalpy for this reaction is given as 927 kilojoules. Now this same step can be done, or the same reaction can be done in 2 steps. Okay, so the bonds in H2O are broken in successive steps as follows. Okay, first one, H2O gives OH plus H. Okay, its enthalpy is 499 kilojoules. Okay, second one, the OH which is there in the first step will again break down into O and H atoms. Okay, and its enthalpy is given as 428 kilojoules. Now when we add this thing, it is equal to the enthalpy of the single step reaction which is given above. Okay, so that is equal to 927 kilojoules. Okay, now when we see the enthalpy change of the 2 steps, we can see that the values are not same. Okay, or it is not like 499 into 2 will give me 927. Okay, so whenever it is asked what will be the enthalpy of OH bond, so we cannot write 499 kilojoules or 428 kilojoules. That time we have to take the average of that. That means it will be 927 upon 2. That will be equal to 463.5 kilojoules will be the answer for the bond enthalpy of OH bond. Okay, even when we see CH4 molecule, there are 4 identical CH bonds, but the bond enthalpy of all the 4 CH bonds are different. So therefore it is always said that we have to take the average of the total reaction. Okay, hopefully it is understood now. Next topic is reaction and bond enthalpies. This is very important. Now over here we know that in a chemical reaction the bonds are formed as well as broken. Okay, so the enthalpies of a reaction involving covalent bonds are calculated by the bond enthalpies of the reactants and the bond enthalpies of the products. Okay, so for calculation purpose we assume that the bonds of a given type are identical. Okay, so the formula for bond enthalpy change of a reaction will be equal to the summation of the reactant bonds minus the summation of the product bonds. Remember, we are talking about bond enthalpies over here. Okay, so the enthalpy change for the bond enthalpies are calculated as taking the summation of the reactant bond first minus the summation of the enthalpies of the product bonds. Okay, so we will consider one example over here, that is hydrogen reacting with iodine to give hydrogen iodide. Okay, now over here the enthalpy of this reaction will be given as delta H of HH bond plus delta H naught of II, that was the reactant bonds, minus 2 multiplied by delta H naught of HI bond. Okay, hopefully it is clear. When we calculate the enthalpy of a chemical reaction, simply then it is the summation of the products minus the summation of the reactants. When we calculate bond enthalpies, it is the summation of the reactant bond minus the product bond. Very important. Okay. Next topic is Hess law of constant heat summation. Okay, it states that overall the enthalpy change for a reaction is equal to sum of enthalpy changes of individual steps in a reaction. That means enthalpy change is not dependent on the path followed by a reaction. It depends on the initial and the final state of a reaction. So we know that enthalpy is a state function. So this is one consequence of the fact that enthalpy is a state function. Okay. Now if we want to calculate the enthalpy change, okay, for a overall reaction, okay, so if we say the synthesis of NH3, first step is 2H2 reacting with nitrogen will give me N2H4. The enthalpy of this step is given by 95.4 kilojoules. Second step, the intermediate which is formed, that is N2H4, reacts with H2 to give me 2NH3. Okay, and the enthalpy change for this step is given by minus 187.6 kilojoules. Now when we add the enthalpies and the reaction, we get the overall reaction and the enthalpy of the reaction. So it is 3H2 plus N2 gives me 2NH3, and the enthalpy is equal to minus 92.2 kilojoules. So the sum of the enthalpy change for step 1 and 2 is equal to enthalpy change for the overall reaction. Okay, hopefully you understood. It is very simple. Only thing you have to understand over here is to determine the overall equation of a reaction, reactants and products in the individual steps are added or subtracted like algebraic entities. Okay, so one application of Hess law. Hess law has been useful to calculate the enthalpy changes for the reaction where the enthalpy's values are not known experimentally. Okay, hopefully you understood. Next class we will see a small topic which is remaining in this chapter, that is entropy, and we will do sums based on this chapter. Okay then, bye.